Okay, Dave Allen, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
I just feel like I know you. This is actually the first time we've properly met, but you've done so many interviews and stuff. You've got your own YouTube channel. You've sort of lived your life out there for everyone to see, and you've been quite vulnerable and opened up. What's life like right now for Dave Allen?
Completely different to before. I've not really been in the public eye much since probably 2020. I retired in 2020. And like, my life was still a bit turbulent, we'll go for. Yeah, I've had like my 20s was a mad time really. I retired from boxing. Boxing was beating me up badly. Like I'm a really normal kid. Like if I weren't big and strong, I'd be in a warehouse like chilling and going to the pub, and that's all I'd be doing. That's all I am. So like when you're making loads of money, you're around people and you're doing this business, it's hard. It's a hard game. It's a bit of a dirty business really. So I got a bit upset by it all. I dare say I got a bit heartbroken at times, and I retired. I met a nice woman, had a few kids, and got away from the game and grew up, and then came back.
What brought you back?
Just like a desire to fulfill potential really, and I'm not stupid. I don't have world-class potential, but I was a national amateur champion. I was on the Great Britain boxing team. It was a bit of a slippery slope really. When I reached my 20s, it was just like I was a good amateur, I was doing good things. I could have gone on the Great Britain boxing team, and instead I chose to turn professional and try and live a normal life at the same time as being a professional athlete. And I had a bit of success, to be fair, and I will never know how. If people knew how I was living at the times of these fights I was having with some massive names, you would never believe it. I remember telling Jamie Moore when I started training with him, he was like, so what training and stuff did you do for this fight? And I told him, like, wow, like people that don't even, like you do less than the average man. Like how are you boxing all these people?
Did you just go for a run on the day? Like what are we talking about?
If I give you an example of like, because people always ask, like 2018, I boxed Lenroy Thomas on the 3rd of March, I think. So I trained really hard for that. And then after I got the cut eye in that fight, I didn't really go to the gym. I then boxed in May in a 4-rounder. A few weeks later, I got the phone call to watch Tony Yoka on 3 weeks' notice. Went to the gym a few times, hit the pads. I then boxed Tony Yoka and took him 10 rounds. I got concussion and my eyes were swollen shut. And then a few weeks later, I got offered the Nick Webb fight on like 10 days' notice. I'd not trained in between. I did one session on the pads in my mate's garden for the Webb fight. I then knocked Webb out. Then I boxed in Newcastle. I got 10 weeks' notice, but I did like a 2-week training camp. I then beat Samir Niwa in the 1st round. Then I was told I wouldn't box till December, so I had a week off. I then got told, oh, you can fight on Bellew Usyk. I then did a 2-week training camp and boxed Ariel Bracamonte and had a crazy fight with him. So that was 2018, like maybe 4 weeks worth of training. In 9 months, I had 6 fights. I boxed Olympic gold medalists. I had some big wins, I had some crazy fights. So that's how I was living. That's how I lived my whole career. And you know, we laugh about it and stuff, but really looking back, that's why I came back, because I have so many regrets.
You've boxed at a good level. You mentioned there, Tony Yoka, Olympic gold medalist. You knocked out Lucas Brown. That was at the O2, wasn't it? That was incredible. You know, it felt like you had the world in your hands at that point, and you could go anywhere. And look, you're still young, still 32. But Johnny Fisher, who you're fighting, has not boxed anywhere near your level. This is surely the hardest fight of his career, but I'm seeing a lot of people just writing you off.
Yeah, I've been offended, really. He's had 12 amateur fights, he's had 12 pro fights. So I look at his record. Harry Armstrong's a decent fighter. He boxed Lawrence Okoli in the boys clubs final. The same night I won the boys clubs final in 2011. He was a decent fighter. He then beat Alan Babbage. So I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, all right, he's doing well, like he's ready for an English title fight. And then the fight gets announced and everyone's saying it's a mismatch, this is dangerous. And I'm thinking, yeah, for who? Dangerous for him, maybe. Like, I don't see that, like, he is dangerous, but I don't think he's anywhere near my level. Like, in terms of boxing ability, we're not on the same level at all.
Are you still that guy? Are you still that guy that knocked out Lucas Brown? Are you still that guy that gave us those great nights, that great string of fights that you had a few years ago? Because if you are, then surely too much for this young buck coming through. But if you're not, this is his time, right? Where do you feel like you are?
Yeah, it's crazy because they're all writing me off. Like, I don't know how bad they think I am now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
they're talking about you like you're 38 years old. Like,
yeah, everyone thinks I'm like 48.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Everyone's like, how old are you now? I'm like 32. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm not 33 till next year. I've only had 41 fights amateur and pro. I sparred too much. I boxed out of shape too much. Took too much stick, of course. But in terms of boxing ability, I'm the better fighter by a country mile. Just more experience, more ability. It hits harder, but punch power is not even a thing you think about because everyone can hit hard. Why would I worry about punch power?
You've never been down either, have you?
I've never been down, amateur or pro. I've never been in any trouble, amateur or pro. And yet this young kid who's had 12 fights is going to come and take me out. I'm really offended by it. If I'm boxing if I was boxing Moses Itauma, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. If I was boxing other good kids with good amateur credentials that can box and can punch, then yeah, of course. But I'm boxing Johnny Fisher because I'm not an idiot. I don't need to be boxing. So I took this fight because I'm going to win this fight. Like the Moses Itauma fight, I could have probably had at some point. I'm not interested. I don't want that fight. That's not the right fight for me.
Why's that?
Because he's too good. He's too good. That's the truth. I know where I'm at. Because I'm not as good as I used to be, I don't think. I don't think I am. I'm older. Slowed down a little bit, I think. But more clever than I used to be. And against Johnny Fisher, I don't need to be fast. I need to be clever. I need to get through the rounds. I need to show him that, like, this is not what you used to. Make him panic. Take him to the later rounds. So I'm not an idiot. Like, this is a British title level fight. I've been around British title level a few times, not on the web out, The Fraser Clark fight was embarrassing. I wish it would. That fight was the one. All the fights in my career that I could just scrub out of existence would be that one.
Should you not have taken it? Not ready, or?
It wasn't that I shouldn't have taken it. I shouldn't have been in there, really. And you know what the mad thing is? Yeah, I don't know what your perception of it was. I'm in there with Fraser Clark, right? And after 5 rounds, he hits me the first low blow, gets the point taken off. I don't know if I can swear on here, so I've changed the. So I looked at Matt Macklin, and Andy Clark, and I said, he fucked. I said, he's done. I said, honestly, he's done. Like, he's finished. I'm in there with him. Physically, he's finished. Went over it again, low blowed me again. The second point took off. So I'm laughing now. I said, he's done. It's over. He sucked it back up together. He's come back at me, and all of a sudden the tank's empty because I'm not unfit. Bull out in the corner, ear's gone, chances are gone of winning the fight. So what I'm saying is this, that's Olympic bronze medalist. The first fight with Wardley was incredible, and I took it literally on about 2 weeks training, and I had the fight won. That's the truth.
It's a glimpse, isn't it? These are all just glimpses of what Dave Allen could do, but if we see the best Dave Allen who's knuckled down and given it his all, that sounds like a hell of a fighter, Dave.
This fight for me, it's just winnable. It's just winnable, that's all it is. I'm not sitting, if I beat Johnny Fisher, people are going to say, oh, you can box Itauma. And I'll take the Itauma fight, I'll box anybody, I'm not really bothered. You can box Bacoli. And I'm going to turn around in the middle of the ring. After I beat Johnny Fisher, you're going to say, who's next? And I'm going to say, let's see what Wardley does with the British title, because that's what this is. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Solomon Dakers, Adelaide, that is my level. But that is where I believe Johnny Fisher is. And I believe Fisher, Adelaide, Dakers beat all of them. I don't beat Itauma. Zhang and Bacoli probably knocked me bloody 3 miles down the street. But this is my level. This is why I've took this fight, because this is my level, and I'm the man at this level. And there's nothing wrong with that. Anyone watches, all the boxers out there, we can't all be Tyson Fury, we can't all be Alexander Usyk, but I can be the best version of me, and I can make a little niche in boxing, and I can beat all these good fighters, because that's what they are, the good. Fisher's good, the Dakers, Adelaide, they're good. But I'm realistic. I'm not delusional. I'm not jumping in with Luis Ortiz. I'm jumping in with a novice, and if I can't beat him, realistically, these days are over. I can either pack in or continue enjoying boxing at a lower level.
I love the honesty. You've got an interesting relationship with Johnny Fisher, where you're kind of mates, and I've seen you walk past each other. It's always handshakes, maybe exchanging a little joke or a little something here and there. But at some point, that's got to stop, right? Like, but how do you get yourself up for bashing up your mate? Like, how does that work?
It's difficult because he is such a lovely man. We're 8.5 weeks out, so it's easy this week.
But in fight week, are you going to be cracking
Could be a little bit different.
Yeah.
He's a really nice fella, but you can see it in him. He's got a little bit of something in him. He's a bit of devilment, and I certainly have it myself. So yeah, near the time, things get animated. Like, I've been there myself. I've boxed people out of friends before. Fight week, before fight we've been friends. After, not friends. But that's how it goes. But I've got no problem with Johnny Fisher. This is not personal. This is like redemption. This is me. Because whatever happens, this is what I'll be remembered for. The Johnny Fisher fight. If I get part on my bag, I'll just put that big lump from Danny that had a few fights, but he weren't very good. And if I win this one, Dave Allen was good. He knocked out Johnny Fisher. That's how it goes. You're only as good as your last fight. My last fight was actually at Skate Central Sheffield over 4 rounds against a mean Buchetta. But to 99% of the public, it was Fraser Clark. So at the minute, I'm no good. But December 21st, I'll be a world title challenger and waiting, according to everyone else. But to me, I'll just be positioned to box that British title at last. So I'm really excited for it. I'm really up for it. And all the people that are doubting whether I'm going to be coming in shape or this and that, we'll see, because talk is cheap, and I've let people down before. But this is everything to me, yeah. I could be on holiday with my kids now. I could be at home in a comfy job, having a nice life, but I'm not. I'm preparing to go and box a big lump who's capable of knocking me head off. So, so yeah.
Well, listen, that big man who's capable of knocking your head off has been watching the entire interview. You see, he's that guy there. He's that camera there. He's wondering, have you got a message for him? Have you got anything you want to say to the Romford Bull?
Look, I hope he goes on to have just an amazing career, really. As I get older, I probably get I've got a bit softer. You know, like people say, you're not as good as you once was. Maybe I am a little bit softer, but when the bell goes, I will be trying my very best to knock you out. Try to say that in a really nice way there.
It's quite, yeah, the way you framed it was almost like a friendly knockout, but I'm not sure such a thing exists.
I really want to beat him. Really want to beat him. I really do. I really like him, but I really like lots of people I've knocked out in the past. So, what a weird sentence, yeah. I'm just, you know what, I'm so grateful to be here, and I want to be back. That's probably the main thing. All of us on this show, we all want to be back. You know, I had so much so young. I headlined the O2. I'd only just turned 27 a few weeks before. I'm headlining the O2, and I'd only had like I think 30 fights amateur and pro. Headlining the O2. Do you know what I mean? And it all went so fast. I blinked, I'm 32, and I'm actually realising, like, wow, I've got to enjoy this now.
It's time to enjoy it.
I honestly want to say to you on this camera, anyone watching, I will win this fight. I fully expect to win this fight. I'm the better fighter, and if I get out of bed the right day and I continue training as hard as I am, I will beat Johnny Fisher. I never ever say I will beat anybody. When I boxed me and Buchetta, I said to all my mates, we'll see what happens. They're like, oh, you win this one easy. We'll see, I'm not sure. I'm telling everyone now, I will beat Johnny Fisher.
Best of luck to you, Dave.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, mate.